Good morning from Singapore, and it's truly morning. I'm here in my robe, and here's my magic coffee. I have been wanting to talk about, because it's been a new realization on my side, about how being told that we're special really prevents us from being ourselves. And it's ironic. I don't know what culture you're coming from, but I know as an American, there was this idea that you always make your child feel really special. And I know just personally growing up, that put a lot of pressure on me, that suddenly I had to not just achieve, but always go above and beyond because I was special. So whatever anyone else was doing, that meant that I had to do it a little bit more and a little bit better. And it was very exhausting. And there was never a moment in which I could even stop and look around and think, oh, wow, like I just achieved that. And that's pretty cool. Instead, it was my mind was on what's the next thing? What can I get done? And also it prevented me from allowing myself to be ordinary, even mediocre, even like at times not so great, because that meant that I wasn't fulfilling being special. So I couldn't just take on a sport and be okay at it. You know, I had to work really hard until I was one of the best. And if I didn't hit this bar in my mind, then I failed. So that had placed a lot of pressure on me and prevented me from not just enjoying life, but it also separated me from actually connecting with other people. Because if I'm really special, that means that that other people can't be special. Or if I see someone else special, that means I have to compete with them because I have to be a little bit better. So it prevented me from actually connecting, and a potential, of course, for competition. And I'm not saying competition's bad. I mean, I think there's a healthy friction that we do need. But also jealousy, that a part of me was like, I actually feel happy for this person, but there's another part of me that's actually jealous and wants them to go down. And dealing with these waves of humiliation and shame over this. So it was a really freeing thing when my therapist actually said, you know, let's look at this idea that you're supposed to be special, which is actually a lie. Because we do live in a universe, and I know this, I truly believe this. So of course I'm speaking about our little demons and shadows that we all have. That all of us are special. So it's so, you know, it's that paradox. It's so ironic, right? We're all special, so as a result, none of us are special. And to actually allow oneself to be ordinary. Suddenly that felt really relieving. Like, I actually don't have to accomplish anything beyond what I want to do. So if my truth is actually to follow my pleasure and my joy, then I don't have to stress myself out and think that I also need to be either studying or creating or doing all these other things. Because part of the need to be special also can potentially mean that we feel like we have to be things that we're not. We have to be something for everybody. And there's the flip side that, because we are living in waves, that then we deal with, oh, I have to be special or I have to be the best. And as a result, I'm going to also feel all those times when I'm not even just not special, but the scum of the earth and a failure. Because it's like that, if you're that special, then when that wave comes down, you're going to hit like, and I am absolutely nothing and horrible. And it's not a fun wave to hang out in. So I realized that, because a lot of my work is, well, how do I tolerate my waves? And how do I just sit and observe and feel? But to actually take out this need to be special, suddenly certain waves just stopped. I didn't need to have a certain amount of pressure on me anymore. I could actually just say no to a lot of stuff because I don't really care. It's not my thing. And it helps me celebrate everyone else who's actually doing their thing. Like, oh yeah, you know what? Either that's just not my skill set, or I'm just not interested. But wow, like, you nail that. And thank God you do. And now I can celebrate that, as opposed to feeling like, oh, I've got to do that too. So it's important to understand these undercurrent patterns that drive us, that usually we're like either hiding, unconscious of, or terrified of, that really just prevent us from enjoying ourselves and from being ourselves. So that's my little morning tidbit to you, in hopes that, and again, you know, maybe you weren't told you were special, you know, and you've got your own other little patterns around that, right? There's so many. But if you did have that, maybe this helps kind of unlock things. And the final thing I'll say is, I had often struggled with this pattern of me that's a rebel, right? And it's not bad. I'm, you know, it's there is a part of me that's naturally a rebel, okay? But this part of me that had to be special also felt like I had to be perfect. And there was this other part of me that was like, well, fuck you. You know, I'm not perfect, you know, and I don't want to do this. And so this brought up like this angry teenage rebel, which is like, you know what, I'm going to mess with everything. And I'm just not going to do it because I don't want to. So there was this very old vestige of me, you know, maybe like age 5 to 16, that I also couldn't allow myself to do certain things, even though I secretly wanted to, because I didn't want to give in to the people that I felt controlled by, and that I felt were holding these high expectations. You know, and I'm saying people because it's like, yeah, we could be like mom and dad, and I'm not dismissing that, but it's just like it's a whole society. It's the schools we go to, like it's a whole special soup of things. So that was cool, that I find that suddenly I'm just respectful of things much more, and things just don't bother me. So that's why I'm sharing this with you, because there can be a lot of freedom when we realize the lies we've been told, we've been holding on to, we've been playing out. Like, we're just here to enjoy ourselves. So sending you a lot of love from this sunrise temporary moment that I'm here in Singapore. Bye.